Event space ownership information? Yes, ma'am. All right, guys, we are back with another video. This one is about how much does it actually cost to get started, to start an event space. What do we need to consider? What are some of the things that we need? Let's go. Let's talk about it. People don't let us know exactly what we need in order to get started. This is what this video is about today. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you see any of my videos and they helped you in any way, they've enlightened you, they threw up some light bulbs, they made you feel good, more secure, knowledgeable, then I want you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give me a hey, how you doing? Just for some digital currency. It helps out my algorithm. I'll appreciate it so much. All right, guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Z, Build the Business You Love. And I teach you guys how to get started in event-based business. I teach you guys the right way with you in mind. So you're not struggling. You're not out here, feeling like you're lost. And you're not out here feeling like you don't have any knowledge, right? It's about you. It's about getting started the right way, with you in mind, your personality in mind, and all the things that you'll need, because ideally you're starting this business to fit your lifestyle, not the other way around. I always got to mention my course, guys. I have a full-scaled course that teaches you guys how to start, operate, and manage an event space. It's called the Ultimate Event Space Course 2.0 that teaches you guys how to start, operate, and manage. It starts you from scratch on how to structure your business in order for you to position yourself and your business to get funding, if that's what you want to do, right? And also to protect your assets, like all the things that you'll need in order to take your business to the bank. Take your butt to the bank to get you some money for your business? Yes, ma'am. Because I am not the one to tell you to do it anyway. I'm the one to tell you to do what makes sense, okay? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, at least not to me, okay? But I want you guys to feel comfortable and confident and have the knowledge and the resources you need in order to get started. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is get you a wonderful mentor. If you love my videos, then you should keep me in mind, okay? Period. All right, guys, let's get started. So this video, again, it's about how much you'll actually need and things to consider in order for you guys to start up your event space. So get a pen and pad. Let's get ready. So the first one, guys, is that you got to understand that there's no one size fits all. No one is going to tell you, yeah, you're going to need $50,000. Yeah, you're going to need $80,000. Yeah, you're going to need $30,000. No one is going to say that. Why? Because there's no one size fits all solution. There isn't. The cost is going to be dependent on probably 3 things. Yeah, 3 things. Well, more than 3 things, but in this category, right? It's going to be considered you have to consider the location, as well as the size of the space. So the type of space, the location, the size of the space. So you're going to have to consider all of the work you're going to have to do. So consider the space, right? I'm going to break all these down a little bit better, but consider the space, the size of the space, all the things that goes into it. For example, if you have a space that is just raw, it has no floors, no walls, you can see the exposed wires, and it's broken down, you have to do more work. Whereas if you have a space that's more ready, that's going to probably be more expensive, right? Because it's ready. The next thing, guys, is the vision. You're going to have, it depends on the vision, right? If you're coming and you're opening up a mediocre spot that is just, okay, I can get this spot. It's going to be very different from you opening up a spot that's just like luxurious, right? So it's about the vision that you have for your space. Everyone wants that big, grand, luxurious space, but do you have big, grand, luxurious money? Okay, so next you have to consider, the lease. And because the lease, guys, it's not just the lease. It's a lease and deposits and insurance and all the other things. So it's all those things. And that's a big chunk of your money, right? So you're going to have to figure out not just the lease, but also what you're putting inside of that commercial property. So the things that you could pick up, the things that's not stuck to the walls or the floors, right? So we're not even talking about floors or walls or anything like that, or paint. We're talking about stuff that you're going to put inside of it, like the throne chairs, if you're going to do that, right? The tables and chairs, all of those things. So what I'm going to want you guys to do is actually be able to generate a list. So find some local venues that you want to emulate, okay? Local venues that you want to emulate. I am not saying go to these places and book appointments as a showing, okay? Even though it may be considered, research, You wouldn't want someone doing that to you. So just kind of, look through the windows, or maybe even you can go to their website. With event spaces, everybody has their pictures on their websites, right? And then after that, you're going to probably, pay attention to the layout, the vibe. I talk a lot about the vibe in my course. The vibe is everything. The amenities, how many bookings they have, right? It's really important to see what you are, the people who you're trying to be like, right? See what they have going on. Create a checklist, because it's not just about pricing. It's about the things that don't cost any money as well. The customer service. It's about the amenities that they have, how they treat people, the layout, and like I said, the vibe. All right, let's talk quickly about lease and deposits. This is not a lease and deposit video, so I'm gonna go over this really quickly. But usually, you're gonna need either the first month's rent as well as security deposits. That can look like 2 to 3 times the rent. And a lot of times they base it on, your credit, what that looks like. They can base it on if you've had a business before, if you've had a commercial space before, just like your history, right? Because they're taking a risk with you, right? They're giving you their keys to their space. Some landlords may ask for the last month's rent up front too. So you have to just calculate that and see what that would look like. The next thing is you have to look at some pricing for renovations and build out. Get a list going. Go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, whoever your local hardware department store is, and figure out how much it's going to be for flooring, paint, lighting, walls, ceilings, soundproofing, all those things you may need in order for you to make your space pop and give it that vibe that you want to give it the look that you want to give it, right? Something that you could be proud of. But you first have to know how much these things cost, because I can't even tell you. I can't even say, a container of 5-gallon paint is going to be $80. I don't even think that exists no more. The next thing you need to do is scout out some contractors, some people that can help you, right? It's probably not going to be you, the one that's pulling the roller, that's doing all the floors, down on your hands and knees trying to get the floors together, right? So get some contractors, figure out how much it's going to be to do X, Y, and Z, how much it's going to be if you need an architect, because those can be very expensive, and also permits, because this is something that the contractor, architects, and permits is something that you don't consider a lot of times when you're considering your pricing, right? A lot of times before you get that C of O, before you can get those permits, they'd say, we need some plans drawn out. This is the part of the research, guys, that you guys need to understand. This is what I teach you in my course. Next, guys, you need to understand, like I said, licensing and permitting, but you need to understand it at the level of what department it is, okay, and the cost and the fees that they're going to ask for. You have to add that into your business plan. You have to add it into your costs, right? Business licenses, fire department inspections could cost a couple $100s. Don't get it twisted. And we're talking about financial costs, but we also need to talk about the time that these departments can take. In which case, depending on how you set up your lease, for example, if you set up your lease to get 2 months for free, and it's going to take 5 months in order for you guys to get that fire inspection, to get that C of O, then that means that you need that amount of rent to be inside of your bank account to be able to cover the cost, right? It's not just about what you see, it's about what you don't see as well. Because I could tell you all day, yeah, look at the trash bins and the lighting and the speakers and extension cords and the tools and the Wi-Fi, which are things you need to add, okay? But we need to consider the things that we don't see, the things that are hidden underneath that rug, right? We need to uncover those things, because those are the things I'm telling you that'll knock you out the box before you even get started. Anyway, I am Zia, Build the Business You Love. Be sure to follow me. Check out my course if you haven't already. And yes, give me a hello. Give me a hey. How you doing? I love your videos. I love to see that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later.